Birds! Go Birds! Go!
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Santa Boot First Podcast. Go Birds! It's Vikings week.
That wasn't as good as the guy.
That wasn't as good as the guy.
Yeah.
I got to get a few more drinks in me.
Yeah,
Go Birds! Yeah.
that was pretty good.
Some cigarettes. You a smoker? You got
No.
that. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Santa Boot First Podcast, coming to you live from beautiful downtown Willow Grove, the lovely Crack Bell Production Studios. This is your pilot for your MC for the evening, Jim Marcus. To my left, the elder statesman, Donald Kennedy Martin. Someone's got to turn the volume.
Oh, God. Every week with this guy.
It's like a rookie mistake.
Good evening, Beak. Hello there, James.
Oh, man.
To his left, we got the AP.
What's up?
Looking
What's up?
dapper.
Thank you.
Business. Back to
That's
school.
right, that's
Back to
right.
school night. He means business.
That's right.
To his left, the Don, Sensei, DJ.
You say it's sensei, but no dojo again.
How did you the Sensei of the dojo?
All right. That's cool. I like
Here
it.
you go. You ready for
Of
this
the
one?
dojo.
We got the president of the Baker Mayfield fan club.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like you're being introduced
To
already.
DJ's left, the youngest Martin. What's up? Andrew Martin.
What's up?
Behind the glass, you got Nate Money Moss keeping us live on the air. What's going on, Nate?
Yep.
All right, boys. Week 1. Time to overreact to everything. Eagles, the whole league, overreact to everything. We are going to have some guests on later. We're going to have our guy Tone on at the end for all you gambling addicts out there shaking. I know there's a game tonight, a big game, so we'll get some picks on. We're also going to have a podcast from Minnesota, Behind Enemy Lines, come on like we did last week, the Vikings Uncensored Podcast. So we'll see what those guys are thinking about the Monday night game. But first, let's get into overreactions to week 1. It was a win. I'm going to sound like Deke here, right? The defense, they were gassed. We all agreed that the defense didn't look good.
Oh, don't
They
get
were.
don't get them started on the training camp cupcake party.
That's where I'm going.
Oh
That's
my
where I'm
God,
going.
here we go. The rest of the league
They
looked
played 3
bad.
quarters.
That
The rest
was
of
a
the league looked bad.
Adam said
You
it's
want-
It was a
overreaction week.
direct byproduct of Camp Cupcake.
Okay. Would you rather let me ask you a question. Would
Let
you-
Jimmy finish
would
his
you-
That's
No,
where I was
Camp
going.
his opening thought.
Would you rather have a bunch of guys hurt because they got their asses kicked in training camp, or would you rather have them come out slow and still win the game?
It's called a happy medium.
There is no
You-
happy medium.
yes, there
The Eagles
is.
finally went
You
through the
have
season
something.
fully
You
out.
have something between what they did and what it used to be like.
The offense wasn't off.
It's a
the
60-minute
rails.
No,
game.
you have to
I'm
be
on
in
a
football
60-minute
shape.
man.
They
You
weren't in football
You
shape.
win to play the
The
game.
defense was not in football shape. Tell me they were.
Nobody was in football
Right.
shape week 1.
It's week 1. None of them
It's
played
week one.
The
preseason.
Lions were.
So it's still sort of
They
like.
were ready. They were
preseason.
ready for that game. We were not ready for that
Did they
game.
win? Did they win?
Did they win?
If they had one more
Did they
possession,
win?
They didn't
would
though.
have.
They didn't though.
If they had
They
another
didn't though,
possession,
did
would.
they?
Did
Did
they
they have
win?
another possession?
And it wasn't because of their defense
Did they
that
win? Did they
stuffed
win?
them.
Are
What? The
are-
defense lost the game for them.
No, our defense didn't stuff them.
Are they 1-0? Answer the question.
Doesn't matter. If they had another possession.
But
they
it didn't
would've won the
happen, so
game.
who cares?
Were you comfortable in the last 2 minutes of that game?
I honestly never thought they were going to lose. I just really,
Bullshit.
even if the Lions came back and
Nobody
took
was
the lead.
comfortable in the last 2
I
minutes
was.
of that game.
I
No,
was.
you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
I was not
Dude, they were up
worried at
38 to
all.
21.
No.
They were up 30
They
to
were up
21.
And they
17
almost
points.
lost.
And they didn't lose.
Both of you are full
No,
of shit.
No, we're not.
If the game
You're
was,
judging an outcome that didn't happen.
Here's the thing.
It happens all the time in
Yo.
sports. That's
Oh
what
my
people
God! It
talk
didn't
about.
happen that we're talking about
Hold
right
on.
now, though.
This is week 1 of football.
Yeah.
Week 1 since last
And
year.
look at us, we're going
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
And we
It's all
should
overreaction.
have been ready, and we weren't for that game. They were ready physically. They were ready
They
emotionally.
lost.
Dude, the
So
Super
what?
Bowl champs,
They
They
weren't ready.
We weren't ready.
We won.
Who won?
if there were 2 more quarters, we would have lost.
Oh my God! If there's
Oh,
oh
it was one more
my,
possession.
if there's
Tom
no
Brady was playing for the Lions.
oh yeah, maybe they had a chance.
Come on, D.
How can you say they're ready?
Selfless, be better, be kind,
They lost.
no.
They let up 38 points at home. How are they ready?
Because their offense was ready. Maybe their defense wasn't totally ready, but our offense is pretty good.
Wait.
600 total yards. We had almost
Yeah.
Our
300
offense
yards.
is pretty good.
Oh God.
Our defense was not
Didn't
ready
we have
for
like
that
two-
game.
No, they
Yeah.
weren't. I'll say the defense was
Joe,
bad.
DJ said it perfectly during the preseason and when we were watching Hard Knocks.
What?
Dan Campbell's a fraud.
No, he's
Yeah,
a
I
great
agree with that.
motivational coach. He's
Yeah,
not a
I
good-
don't think Dan Campbell's a good coach. That's why I wasn't
Yeah.
worried.
Yeah, let's kick an onside kick when we're
They look real ready. That was so stupid.
No, but they had
That's
the
like
most
a Madden 22
onside
move.
kicks last year.
Yeah, and look at the record.
They were
Yeah,
they were
that's true.
totaling like
Bro.
14, dude.
You're better
Calm
than
down.
this. You're better than this.
I don't fault them for trying the onside kick there.
Why?
Why?
That's
They
a
had all
horrible
the momentum,
move.
and we were going
Exactly.
out.
They had the momentum,
We
and
were
that's why
going
you kick
3
it.
out.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Look what happened in Nebraska Northwestern in that college game.
And now he's fired.
And now he got fired.
He
Exactly.
should have been fired 3 seasons.
Well, yeah, he's horrible. But I'm just
He's only
saying,
been there
that's
too.
such a stupid move. That's my balls are bigger than your
Oh,
balls. Let's
so
make this
that's
move.
I don't have confidence in my team.
So
And I'm
when
going
the
to give them
Eagles,
every
so-
advantage I think I can.
so when the Eagles,
I can't
opened
believe
up
we're
against the
arguing about
Cowboys
this.
however
We
many
are.
years ago, the first game of the season.
You're really
opening
talking about
kickoff,
something
Oh,
20
Josh,
He's talking about
Josh.
the pickle juice.
Hell, the pickle juice game. Yes, the Eagles opened
Oh
up
my
game one with
God.
That
the
was the
onside kick
first play
on
of
the
game.
road.
That's the first
What,
play
that
of
was
the
a
game.
that was a shit call
That's-
of the Eagles.
No, because it's the
It led
first.
to the destruction of the
No,
Cowboys.
no, it's not because it's the first play of the game. You can recover from that. You can't
That was in
recover.
the first half.
How about the Saints at halftime in the Super Bowl?
That's
Yeah.
if it doesn't happen. No.
If it works, it's good.
Yes,
If it
exactly.
doesn't, it's bad.
Same thing with the Philly special in the Super Bowl. Like if that didn't work, we're all like, "Dog, what the?" Like.
Let's think about this.
I just want to keep yelling.
No,
them.
I know. Like,
Let's logically
Fire it off.
think. Let's now calm down and let's logically think about this.
there's no logic in
What?
this
Yeah.
group.
Where you getting logic from?
All right, you knew
Just because you have a collar on doesn't make it logic.
You knew that the Lions were going to come in pumped. It's the first time they sold
Exactly.
out in 30 years. The Hard Knocks
Thanks
was
to
there.
the Eagles fans.
Yeah,
but
right.
At the end of the day, they won.
Yeah.
The Eagles won. They
Maybe
walked
it
away
wasn't
with a
pretty.
win.
A
It
win's
was.
a win.
It wasn't
A win's
pretty
a
at all.
win.
I will agree with that. But you could tell the Eagles were clearly the better
I
team.
don't like getting your preseason out of the way your first 3 games
Well,
of the
get
season.
used to the NFL, the new NFL.
It's bullshit.
No.
I'll say that-
A win's a
have
win.
Jalen Hurts
This
get
is-
hurt in training camp.
Yeah,
You're gonna
A
have
win's a
Hurts
win.
in Training camp.
No,
it was an ugly win.
You can get, how many injuries were there in the first freaking game of the season? Don't give me this bullshit about getting hurt in preseason. It happens all year
Someone's-
long. Dak Prescott's done for 2
No,
months.
did somebody shoot up? Like he's on your Roy rate.
But don't give me this shit about getting injured in the first or in preseason.
We lost
It
Barton.
happens
Dude,
all
you need-
season
all you need
long.
all you need to do is go slap into a Slim Jim.
Wait, Barnett did tear his ACL.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Barnett tore his
Listen,
ACL.
listen.
He's done for the year.
Listen.
Don't give me this injury shit in the beginning of the
Everybody,
preseason.
the Super Bowl champs got whacked.
Yeah.
Because they're still in a
What?
hangover.
The freaking 49ers lost to the Bears. It's week 1. We walked away with a victory. Move on with your life.
We walked away with a victory. Look,
I
again,
want more out of
we're
my
going to
team.
keep
I want
overreacting.
more out of my team that's expected to do
Hold on.
more.
A win's a
We're
win.
going to play your speech in the locker room to get the Eagles
Damn
pumped
right.
up for Monday
Should.
night.
Do any of you guys think the defense
Everybody-
played well?
No.
Zero.
No.
How did
30
they look in the fourth quarter?
Horrible.
Horrible.
You don't think that
Bradbury
has
had-
anything to do with conditioning and
No, I
preseason?
think
Thank you.
You know what I think it
Thank
has
you.
to
That's
do
what
with?
that's what I'm saying.
That
You know,
plus the 370
you know what
plus
it has
yard
to do
drops.
with? You know what it has to do with? Gannon continuing to live by this scheme
Yeah.
where he just
I
has
think
a
it's-
flat
I think-
coverage.
When I see Hassan Reddick dropping back in coverage,
Not only
come
that,
on.
but the cornerbacks are getting like there are no pass rush.
I hate
Jordan
the Ben,
Davis
but
is-
Oh,
don't
yeah, the
Come
bots
on,
are back.
man.
Yeah, the bots
What do
are
they
back.
want?
Yeah.
What do they want?
They're
What's the problem?
spamming. They're spamming.
Come and find me.
Well,
Yeah.
That means you made it.
That means we made it.
You
Yeah.
made it. When the
What's
bots
up,
come.
bots?
All right, so a win is a win. Let's continue to overreact to week
Oh my
1.
God, here we go.
I'm not. We're done with the Eagles. We can continue on the
What do you
Eagles
mean
if
we're
want.
done with the Eagles?
with week 1? You got more you want
We
to say
didn't
about
even
it?
talk about the game.
I'm talking overreactions. We can get into the game.
No, overreaction.
Overreaction to the whole league.
The Packers are maybe not that
Packers
good.
stink?
Yeah.
Niners stink?
Cowboys season's over because
No,
it
I'm
was
not ready
started.
to say the Niners stink.
No.
Dude, that's the thing. It was the first game. The Bengals lost to the freaking Steelers.
Yeah, that was
Like, at
that.
the end of the
There was a
day-
lot of bad football
at
this
the
week.
end of the day,
Yes, because nobody has a preseason anymore.
Yeah, that's just the
Can you
league.
please let him
That's
speak?
what you got to realize.
You
It's
gotta
not
let-
just the
You're-
Eagles.
How many times I get cut off, Andrew?
It's not.
Mid-sentence?
It's not
You
just the
screamed your head
Eagles.
off for 10 minutes in between.
at the end of the day,
Do I need to
we
start
walked
doing
away. We're 1-0. We're 1-0.
A win's a win.
It's not pretty,
Skin of our
but
teeth.
it. You
Who
know,
cares?
you don't
It's
care
hard
how.
to
I
get-
don't care
it's
how
hard
they
to
come
win in
by.
the NFL. It's
The
hard.
whole league looked horrible.
You're not gonna give a shit about week 9 and 10 when they're winning. You'd be like,
There
oh,
was
they
really
won.
only one team that looked like they were dominant. The Bills.
Bills.
The Bills.
That was it.
Dude,
You know-
Chiefs look good.
Chiefs. Actually, you're
And
right.
the
Jim. The
Chiefs.
Chiefs looked really good too. But the Cardinals. Ooh. Glad they paid Kyler all that money.
The Rams.
Wasn't the
Yeah.
first game of the year the Eagles were getting spanked and they came back and won? They were down like 21.5.
Who?
The year they won the Super Bowl, I think they beat the Jags. They were losing to a shit team.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And, like,
And
they came
it
back and
was
won.
17-0 to the Jags, wasn't it?
Nobody cares.
Andrew
You
said it.
care.
A win is a win.
Right.
But we're doing.
Are
a
you wearing
podcast.
cologne?
They're hard, they're
We got-
hard
we
to
got-
come
we
by.
need something.
Are you
to
wearing
talk about.
cologne?
No.
You smell really good.
Thanks.
I just got a whiff
That's
of
just-
like cologne right now, and it smells good.
It's deep.
I think it's the AP back to school special.
Do we want to talk more about the Eagles game? Do you want
Yes.
to talk about?
Yeah,
the boy
because
Jalen?
I think there's some things
Talk
that we
about
got to
the boy
bring
Jalen?
up. Yeah, I
No,
think
we
I
already
think
know how you feel. Like
I
you.
look.
No,
I said in our group chat that I still don't think Hurts' arm is good enough, but he won the game for us. Like
Yeah.
if he wasn't a quarterback, they don't win.
The other thing is too is that only one person was getting open.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. The
Yeah.
other thing is he had no time to throw the
Oh, the
ball.
line,
The line was
both
atrocious.
lines
I
looked
was
terrible.
really-
Devontae Smith is as much as I love him, he couldn't beat press coverage at the line.
And that's what his
And
knock
Hurts,
on in
you know,
his
the
draft
whole thing
was.
about Hurts can't throw the deep ball. Looked pretty good on that 54-yard.
Yeah, that was
pass to
one
AJ
throw
Brown,
that-
but he has an arm. He can make the throw.
He's inconsistent with it.
He's
though.
Okay.
very inconsistent
That's
when it
fine.
happens.
Did you see that throw? The other throw to AJ Brown that saved him on?
That went at his ankles?
Dude, if you look at what now,
I know what you're gonna say. The
No.
defender's sitting right there, right?
So,
Now
so
look-
Lawrence
look
Hughes,
at
the
the
quarterback, said if you throw that ball high enough, the safety's going to come and hit him. It was thrown
If he
low.
hits him in stride, it's a possible touchdown.
If he lobs it
or
over
it's
his head,
possible AJ Brown's getting knocked out because the
That safety wasn't
arrives.
even in the picture.
That's why he's there. Honestly, he's the biggest receiver on the team. Take
That-
it.
That safety,
Take it.
that safety
Dude,
wasn't even in
he's
the
reason
picture.
Why they won the game.
Yeah, he is. He is.
10
he is.
receptions.
His legs
No
are.
turnovers.
No
10
turnovers.
rece-
I don't.
Nobody argues that.
Nobody argues that, and I don't think even
Well, they're-
AB
they're-
would
he had
argue
10
that.
No,
receptions.
AB would
155
argue
yards.
it.
No, for this one game,
I would hope he
I
wouldn't.
can't see how.
I
AB
hope he
would
wouldn't.
argue
If he's
that.
on
No,
this, I hope
did.
he wouldn't.
He did.
He argued
Yes.
that it wasn't just
He's
because of
talking-
Hurts.
Here's the other thing. He wants to praise Wentz. 4 TDs against the Jaguars.
that's
2
nothing.
turnovers.
They almost lost.
Yeah, they did.
They almost lost.
I was pulling for.
I
Dougie.
was too. I seen that. I was like,
Listen,
oh,
like,
all right, Jags.
once this offense gets going, they got to find a way, like for Smith to get open and Goddard. I think it's going to be.
That's
if
Watkins has to get
that's
some
that's
points,
the
too.
optimistic part you have to take out of this game too. They put up 38 points.
with only
with
8
using-
31.
Sorry, you're right. 31.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, 31.
All right. Still, that's pretty good on the road when you don't use
Oh, here we go.
3/5 of your offense.
Yeah,
I mean, you
and
think
your
about it.
offensive line stunk.
Yeah, Quez and Devontae
You
Smith
got
were
better production
non-factors.
from Miles Sanders, you expected. You got 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that
Goddard
people-
had a good game, but I mean,
here's
Goddard's
the thing
had
that
better
people
games.
Need to realize this team might not win the sexy way through like long passes. Who gives a shit? A touchdown counts as a pass, or a touchdown counts as running it right up the middle and scoring. What's the difference?
Well, people don't like
Wentz
seeing
having
that out of
4
your quarterback.
No,
Yeah.
you do. But
I would like to see my
I mean, if
quarterback
you
personally.
think
I'd
about
like
it,
to see him
A.J.
throw
Brown
it.
was going to break that catch. He had one guy to beat. It would have been a touchdown. The only drive that really pissed me off, which was more play calling, in my opinion, was the goal line.
Yeah, that was
You
after the AJ
You
Brown
don't
pass.
You don't throw a
That was AJ
Yeah,
Brown.
That was a poor
that.
series of play calls over the goal
right.
line.
But then, like AB wants to make that poor execution.
Well, maybe it
Well,
was.
that's where. Do you think if they had a bigger back like Trey Sermon
I would've
activated for the
used
game,
him.
yeah, you would have used him. More,
I
but he
would've-
wasn't. He wasn't
I
active
think
for the game.
well, he'll probably be playing this
I
week,
hope so.
and I think
don't-
they.
I don't think so, dude.
Why?
He hasn't got elevated yet for some. Or I mean, they've been saying that he's not getting a lot of touches in practice. I'm going to say this. I'm not like a huge fan. Kenny Gainwell doesn't do much for me. At the goal line, he can get you a touchdown, but he doesn't. I'd rather see a bigger back than Sermon.
I was just
that's why I
going to
think
say,
Sermon's the bigger back.
Gainwell's not
Scott
that
can
big
sit
bruising
there.
back.
Yeah, but Gainwell's your scat guy.
Yeah,
Okay, then
The
sit
enemy
Scott.
is
yeah, but
on.
they need
Then sit Boston
they
Scott.
need that big
Boston
bruiser
Scott,
inside
Look,
the line.
I know we knock on him a lot.
He had one nice
He's
touchdown.
he's actually
one-
really
He
productive.
had
Like
one nice
he
What
did-
do I always say?
I know. You,
Never goes down at first.
Yeah,
contact,
he's actually
never
very-
gets tackled for loss. always
How many yards did he
always
have?
falling forward.
No,
How many
he-
always
yards did
getting
he have?
yards.
He had that one touchdown where you could have ran through
no,
it, dude.
but when he
The line was
no,
this big. He
but
could have ran right
Smitty,
through
when
it.
he's on the field, usually good things happen when he gets
He
the
was-
ball.
He
He's a
was
tough
at the
runner.
table, and Brody, I think, is bigger than him.
Really?
No, how about this?
I mean, dude, he works though. Like,
disrespects
does,
the guy
he
by
does.
He's
calling
good.
Darren Sproles light. That's disrespectful.
to Darren Sproles or
Yes.
Boston Scott?
Nate, is that disrespectful?
No, I
to
That
agree.
Darren
was that
Sproles?
was
I agree.
half
He's
tongue
he's a
in cheek.
tough runner though. Like
He's productive, man.
I
He's-
wouldn't call him productive, but he's a tough runner.
I said
All
that half tongue in cheeks.
I know you did.
oh shoot,
Maybe against the Giants.
Phillies are down 4-0.
That's all right.
The enemy is on.
Yeah, do
by the way.
we want to switch over now?
We can.
Continue with the NFL overreactions, but we'll get the guys in from Minnesota.
I'm sure they all
and
love
then
the
we'll
fact
have-
now everybody's singing the Kirk Cousins praise. They
Yeah,
wanted to
well,
get rid of
There's a week
Let's
one
see.
overreaction.
guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring them on. Bring them on.
Dun-dun, dun. We gotta get Jaws music when we bring it in.
We should have played the skull again. I should have played the
Oh
skull.
no, that's all right.
No,
Hey,
Good evening, guys.
What's
what's
up?
going on?
Boys,
We've
What's
got
up?
Rhino and Lance, right? From
Yep.
the Vikings Uncensored Podcast. Good evening, guys. My name's Jim. To my left, we got Deke, we got Smitty, we got DJ, we got Andrew behind the glass, we got our guy Nate. So yeah, we're yelling at each other in here, overreacting to week one and how the Eagles are good or bad. And there's plenty of other NFL overreaction to go, but we want to get into the game. There's definitely, maybe a little heat between the Vikings and the Eagles over the past couple of years. But first, tell us about your guys' podcast, how long you've been doing it, when you do it. I see you're up there. I think your last episode was episode 75, so congrats on making it to the 75. Give us a little bit about your show.
All right. Well, we started the show, Vikings Uncensored, in March of 2021, kind of right about the time the 2021 league year started. I had done a little bit in the past, but the show I was on ceased to keep going. So wanted to keep doing what the podcast thing. So Lance and I started Vikings Uncensored, like I said, back in March 21. We've up to episode 76 will air Friday night on our YouTube page at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's Friday nights, our usual premiere for the new shows, unless we happen to do a live show here and there along the way. But basically, we talk all things Vikings, throw some NFL stuff in. We're not one of those podcasts that are just unicorns and rainbows and all the homer stuff. We actually, if something's going on with our team that we don't like, we call it out and basically tell it like we see it.
Good. We like to hear that. We
yes.
are similar here. We
That's
try to stick to sports.
That's a strong Minnesota accent, eh? That's sort of.
I'm actually from North Dakota, so it's not
Is that
even
what it is?
Minnesota.
Ah,
It's
don't you know?
accent.
Yeah, I hear something in that.
So we try to keep the sports. We go off a little bit here and there, and we certainly have our feelings of our teams, and we have some Jalen. We have the Jalen Hurts president of the fan club in here, and some detractors. So that's good. We like when guys are open to their teams and really look at them with not just the purple shaded glasses, I guess, on your side. So let's get into what your thoughts are for your team this year. We did our round table of how we thought the NFL, who was going to finish where for playoffs. I personally think your Vikings are taking the North this year. I have a little bit of a bias against Aaron Rodgers, but maybe we'll bring it up later.
So do we. So
You finally scored some points with that.
Yeah, somebody's on my side finally. So how are you guys feeling about your squad this year?
go ahead, Lance. I'll let you start.
So far so good. The change, you can feel in Minnesota. Glad that the gloom is gone with Zimmer. Satan is not the devil, has left the room, fellas. So, Kevin O'Connell, man, he schemed up pretty good last weekend against Green Bay. We're hoping that the momentum carries over to week 2. I know that the Eagles and the Vikings have a lot to prove this year, honestly, to the rest of the NFL. So, the one thing that's kind of giving me the willies over there, it gives me the.
You're having a little connection issue there, Lance. Anyway, all right.
The one that hurts.
Well, since Lance has froze up, I guess I'll hit my side of it. Kind of like what he was saying. You know, the last 2 to 3 years, especially of Mike Zimmer, were not fun times for the Vikings in general, the team, the fan base, the players. But bringing in now Kevin O'Connell from Los Angeles, bringing in that McVay style offense. We were promised a lot with hope and hype and everything in the preseason that, you know, things were different. The players were coming out saying it's a completely different environment than it was before. And at least through 1 week anyway, they're delivering on what they were promising. You know, when we were talking to, we both also have us at least making the playoffs after seeing how the Packers were last week. Granted, they were missing some pieces and stuff. Winning a division is definitely in the realm of possibility for us.
I think it's happening.
Yeah, after what the Packers displayed this weekend, I think your chances went through the roof.
Don't forget about Justin Fields and the Bears.
Yeah. Well, the Bears were never in the picture anyway.
I'm actually surprised the Bears did what they did. I mean, granted, they were playing in Lake Michigan the way it looked on TV.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
So one of the big players on your team, Justin Jefferson, scares me for Monday night. We'll get into the Monday night, but what do you think? I made a statement before the show, 2,000 yards for Jefferson this year. You think that's possible?
Bold.
That is bold.
That's he came out and said he wants to be the league's first 2,000-yard receiver. And I think it's absolutely possible, just seeing what we did, what he did on Sunday against a very good Green Bay secondary. I mean, there were plays when he was wide open by 20 yards. You know, and he had 1,600 plus yards last year running an offense that did not cater to his skill set, as we affectionately like to call it, Clint Kubiak and his coloring book offense, because it was pretty basic. But now O'Connell is scheming to use him like the Rams used Cooper Kupp last year. And if week 1 is any indication, Justin Jefferson has every opportunity to hit 2,000.
What's the feeling in the city there? Like here in Philly, we're very passionate. Well, I was going to say we're very fickle too, though, right? Like
fickle.
Whether
what a vocab word.
We were arguing. We had a win this week, and we were arguing over, you know, how bad they were in a win. The sense in the town there. Is everybody on board? Do they think the Vikings are going to make a run here?
I think the hope is high for it. Now, granted, we're the Minnesota Vikings. Our hope is high every year, and then towards the end of the season, a lot of times they tend to find the most excruciating way possible to rip everybody's hearts out of their chest and stomp on them with a boot, you know. But
We've been there a few times ourselves.
Yeah.
More than a few.
So, I mean, I think by and large, the fan base has bought into it. There's still, you know, you've got that one segment of the fan base, the guys that some of our buddies who have a podcast affectionately call the everything sucks all the time crowd.
I think we know that.
Yeah. But, you know, and it's a lot of people are still taking a wait and see approach too. I mean, you know, they're like you guys were talking, you don't want to overreact to one game, but things look good that first game. So we're on the right track anyway.
So no overreactions on your side yet. Is there anything that you think this team needs to do that you're excited about that we haven't seen. I know it's only week one. Again, we're all overreacting to week one. But is there any part of the offense? I think you have a pretty stout defense there. You got some great linebackers. Anything on the team that throughout the season you're going to be like, yep, this is when it's clicking. That's what we were waiting for.
Go ahead, Lance, if you're...
Can you guys hear me? Am I here? Am I back?
There we go. We got
Am
it.
I fixed? Oh. Okay. I believe...
No,
Is
you're
it more
not,
Del
you're
Cook
not
this
fixed.
week?
No. Your internet's still chopping up real bad.
Yeah.
Maybe you should switch to your other internet if you can.
Maybe try your phone. Your phone might be better too.
We'll give him a second to work on that. But for my side of things, I guess our run defense is still a little suspect, I think, and that concerns me for this week. We gave up 110 yards, I think it was, to the Packers, who weren't really trying to run much, but Aaron Jones had like a 9-yard per average on his rushes. A.J. Dillon was like 4.5. It's more the stuff out around the edges where, where you guys seem to thrive, I think, with the run game, whether it be with Jalen Hurts or
Miles
Sanders. Miles Sanders. That's right. Yeah. And running quarterbacks have historically given us fits. So for me, that's one of the biggest concerns I see coming into this week.
We're in Philly. We're nervous with Jalen Hurts getting so many runs per game. We see nothing but injury coming out of that. We're hoping that Miles Sanders is able to carry the ball a few more times. Not so many designed runs for Jalen Hurts and some more designed runs for the running backs, be it Sanders or one of the others. And just try and move the ball down the field that way. We have what's considered by most to be a very stout, productive offensive line, even though there were some holes blown through that this weekend. But with the running game, offensive lines love to run block as opposed to pass block because they get to be the aggressor on that type of play. So hopefully we can establish a run early without Jalen Hurts running the ball so much and get that ball downfield and pop a pass here and there with Brown and Smith and Goddard.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a concern I see with pretty much any running quarterbacks is the shelf life, I think, on a lot of these guys is going to end up being a lot shorter than your typical pocket passers, the guys that can maybe move but don't take off running unless they absolutely have to, kind of stuff. But
so one of the areas that and you could correct me if I'm wrong, that I feel like the Eagles might be able to expose Monday night is the secondary. I mean, listen, like Patrick Peterson in his prime was one of the best corners, but like, I don't know, I know your secondary got some decent safeties, but like, how do you feel about like Peterson being able to match up with A.J. Brown or your opposite, or to the opposite, like matching up with Devontae Smith, and then even like your linebacker play, like Jordan Hicks, don't get me wrong, he's good here, he was decent, but like in the coverage against like a Dallas Goedert, like what concerns you about the Vikings defense? Because to me, I think the area the Eagles can expose is the cornerbacks.
Are you fixed, Lance? Trying to try it? We'll let you.
I was going to say, Lance, if you drop off and come back on, you might have a better shot. You have a better connection.
Yeah, your connection's bad.
Okay, I'm just going to drop out and let Rhino take this one.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't get a good connection here. I'm in gut fucking Egypt of the United States.
Thanks.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I mean, Patrick Peterson, I share the concerns on that because, we saw him last week against Green Bay being out of position and a step slow, it seemed like a lot. I mean, that opening drive when, Green Bay had a touchdown, Christian Watson had him beat by 10 yards, and then he, right through his hands.
Couldn't hold on to it.
Now he did get a little better as the game went on, but and also he didn't play during the preseason at all. So I don't know if it was just rust or if it's just age starting to catch up to him. On the other side, Cam Dantzler has improved every year he's been in the league. He's if you put any stock in PFF rankings and things like that, he's actually consistently among the top 12 to 15 cornerbacks and rankings. So I like what he's doing. Now our depth is a little shaky right now. Our rookie cornerback Andrew Booth had a quad injury last week, and he wasn't practicing as of yet today. So I don't know. They're thinking he could play Monday, but won't know until we get kind of a game time decision thing. But I mean that is definitely an area of concern. I think that with Brown and Devonta Smith, I think that they could potentially cause us some problems in that way. Now, if we can keep Hurts in the pocket and get pressure on him and not have him time to find those open receivers, then it makes it a little bit of a different story. But
those are the matchups that on both sides of the ball, right? Our receivers versus your secondary, and your receivers versus our secondary. I'm not as Adam Thielen's been a very good player, but I'm not as concerned about him. Justin Jefferson, as good as we all want to say Slay is, I'm concerned about Jefferson.
Yeah, you're gonna have to double cover him.
Double cover
They
him.
have to play a corner and a safety over the top.
I want to see somebody else beat us than Jefferson. I'll be okay if Jefferson's not beating us.
Unless it's Rager.
Oh God, I don't gotta worry about that.
I mean,
how do people feel about Jalen Rager out there?
I mean, the expectations here are nothing like they were when you guys drafted him. We brought him in here to be a punt returner for the most part. He's our fourth wide receiver right now.
He stinks as a punt returner too.
He'll wear out his welcome quickly. You'll see what he's about.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had a revolving door for punt returning and that kind of stuff the last few years, and we had a kid we drafted last year, Amir Smith-Marset, who was supposed to be our punt returner, and then he stunk up the joint in preseason, so that's why we made the trade for Rager.
He's got two directions on a punt return: lateral and backwards.
Well, with Smith-Marset, it was let it go over his head or fumble it. So,
I do have a question. I don't know if I had to step out real quick, so I don't know if it was asked.
I have a question too.
But were you or any of your other guys from the podcast at the 2017 NFC Championship game?
There you go. Stir the pot, DJ.
We got to get a little.
We weren't.
I thought maybe the guy that couldn't get good cell coverage might have been at the Rocky statue.
Nah. Well, he said none of them were there, so.
No, we didn't make the trip for that one. We were.
Smart move. Way to save your money on that one, and
Yeah, I was sitting here throwing stuff at the TV from the comfort of my couch.
Yeah, actually, were you? Yeah, what was Minnesota's attitude towards
everybody
that?
Basically were like, oh, they're going there to Super Bowl. Were you guys confident you were just going to come in and roll skol for the Eagles?
No, I mean, some people I'm sure were, but like I've mentioned before, the Vikings historically have always found the worst time possible to just blow it. And so, I mean, and of course with that year, we were going with a backup quarterback because we had traded for Sam Bradford from you guys, who promptly got hurt.
Yeah.
So we had, Case Keenum, who had been up to that point and has been since, just a journeyman backup, who came in and played lights out basically up until that championship game.
Well, you guys went and scored too, right? We're in the first drive. They scored.
But then once he threw that pick six, the wheels were starting to fall off it at that point. And
it was a wrap when you guys went on the Rocky Stadium and did the scroll. That's when it went.
Yeah, we talked about that
when you did that.
And I don't agree with doing that kind of stuff really, because I don't like to tempt fate, especially with this team, because.
And then we came to your hometown and took the
for us,
leave it to Smitty's.
For us, it's all in good fun. I mean, Philadelphia fans get
Skol.
a bad rap.
Shut up.
And I mean, part of it is warranted, and part
Yeah, some of
of it
it's
it's
deserving.
earned
Yeah.
for sure. It's definitely earned from us. But you know, at the end of the day, I think that if we talk a lot of shit, but we take a lot of shit too, right? And that's just Philly, right? We can just back it up, right? You talk a lot of shit. If you come here, you back it up. And then the problem was that you came here.
That actually leads me to another question.
Because didn't Viking people put
they put a jersey
on Rocky.
But
yeah.
look, if we're being honest, they should have been confident, right?
For sure.
I think we were like the whole NFL.
We were the underdog.
They wrote the Eagles off.
Yeah,
Were the
absolutely.
Vikings favored in that game?
The Vikings were absolutely favored.
Eagles were
in that
underdogs
game.
in every game.
And you guys were rolling with a backup quarterback also.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Nick
There's no
Foles,
reason
who
why the
hadn't
Vikings
really
couldn't-
shown anything.
Also noted they should
Yeah.
the Saints got slipped.
Absolutely.
Oh, geez.
And it's all in good fun though. Like I said,
Yeah,
it's all in
it's all
good fun.
good fun.
We talk. You guys talk. We talk.
I have one little other question.
Hold on,
about
DJ.
the
Before you go,
fans, but
just
go
wanna,
ahead.
I just want to ask him a random one question. How is out in? Because you seem very nice, and I think here in Philly we were real kind of in your face because they were yelling and screaming right before you came on, and everything is calmed down because you're nice, mellow tone, right? You got a nice tone. Your voice doesn't raise or anything like that.
All right, stop hitting on them.
But my question is that how do the Vikings fan feel about Eagles fans? Because here in Philly, like you guys are like number 2 of like the hate list.
Really?
I don't think.
No.
I don't think.
No.
I think just for a certain period.
Cowboys, Giants, Washington.
I feel like Vikings is a strong
No.
number 2,
They're
bro.
out, Nate, I'll say
Patriots are up there.
out of the division. Yeah, I'll say out of the division, the
In the
Vikings
NFC.
are.
The Vikings are a
yeah.
strong
We hate
number
the
2
Saints. We hate the
because nobody's come to Philly.
No, I'll be honest.
Nobody's come to Philly.
I'll
and
be
did-
honest. Like out of the division, I think the Vikings.
The
are
Vikings
the
are
team I hate,
definitely
bro.
not
I
liked
hate
here.
If you want to go out of the division, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Recently,
I
yeah.
think we hate
A
the
recent
Saints,
box.
too. We hate the Saints a
'Cause-
lot, too.
Because Rhino, full what's the disclosure here.
Good word.
You gonna open up the kimono?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Jesus.
That's exposure, not disclosure.
Back in the day, because our Eagles were so putridly bad in the early to mid 70s, late 70s.
Rhino, were you alive in that time? Just asking.
I was.
Yeah, well, not early 70s. I was born in 75, so I caught some of it.
I was actually a Vikings fan.
Oh my
Because
God,
they-
really?
Yes,
Dude, cut
because
his mic.
Would
Are you
let me
serious?
explain why?
No, absolutely not.
Because they
Warren
were
Moon?
one of the
Warren
teams
Moon.
that would actually give the Cowboys some competition, and I wanted the Cowboys to lose at all costs. And if it
Who was
meant
on the
rooting
Vikings
for
in the
another team,
70s?
if it meant being a fan of another team, I rooted for that team. And
That's
I was,
Carpenter with
I
that
love
point.
the purple people eaters.
Purple penis? What?
Yeah.
That's a whole other show altogether.
It's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's after hour show.
Right.
The purple people eaters. I love that defense, and
Who was on the defense? I'm trying to think of the 70 Vikings. Like, who was that?
Was
It
Tarkin-
was Jim. Well, Tarkenton was there for part of it on the op, but defense. You had Jim Marshall. You had Alan Page.
Jim Marshall. Yeah.
You had a couple of different guys that floated around. Gary Larson in the middle, and a couple other ones.
Yeah, I guess I'm after that because I'm thinking the Moons. I'm thinking the Randall's.
Yeah, that would have been like
That was the
93, 94 Warren Moon was.
I'm
20
sorry.
years.
I'm an 80s baby.
This is
I
20 years
apologize.
prior to that.
I don't remember the 70s when they had one bar that goes across the helmet. My bad.
They all look like kickers.
So yeah, I like Bud Grant too. I was a fan of the Vikings back in the day.
Just stop.
That's
Just
terrible.
stop.
They gave the Cowboys.
Stop.
Yo, you just dropped like 5
Yes,
viewers because
stop.
you said that.
Yeah.
Stop. dude.
My high school choice
I-
to do that for you.
My last question will be quick. I hope
Okay.
you're in no relation with this guy, but I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a Philadelphia big-time sports fan that travels around the games, and we've had him on the show before. He gets all routed up, and
the Facebook?
yeah, the face fan, Philly sports guy. Now, there's also a Vikings guy. I don't know if you guys have seen him on Vikings games with the pigtails and the Viking helmet.
Yes.
What Vikings
We have a lot of those guys actually, but yeah.
All right, but this guy that I always have seen, he's a big jacked up dude.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
What are the Vikings fans' feelings towards guys or a guy like that?
Your version of the Philly sports guy.
What do you guys think of that?
He's probably not listening.
I'm sure he's not listening. No, but
he's probably getting his pink tail.
We've actually had he was actually in a one of the Vikings chat group that I belong to. He lasted about 2 days because the only thing he did was self-promote himself.
That sounds familiar.
Didn't really provide anything of any depth for intelligent football discussion, anything like that. Every post he made was something about how he's the face of the fan base, how he's this, how he's that, how he's whatever.
Does he wear shoulder pads?
Nah, he just has the.
I didn't ask. But,
he just has the pigtails, a Viking
and
helmet.
the Viking helmet.
You'll see him. He'll probably be
Was
on.
he here at the link?
Yeah, he was the one that led the skull chant on the steps. That was him.
Are they coming down again? That would be great. Do it again. Do another skull
No, I just
chant.
wanted to get what was the view on
Put a
him
Jalen Rager jersey on
as
Roger.
Vikings fans? Because
I have affectionately referred to him before as Dime Store Hulk Hogan. So
that's a good one.
We're good with that.
All right, I think we want to get a prediction out of you before we get out of here for Monday night. Do we want to go first?
No, you can go. What do you? Is it going to be
Monday Night Football, Rhino? What's your prediction
for Monday night? It's gonna be a one-score game. I think either way. Now, when Lance and I did our preseason predictions on the final record and stuff, this was a game I had us losing. Now, seeing what we saw last week, makes me feel a little bit better about our chances. I'm not confident that we can pull this off just from the Monday night thing, but since there's only one of me and there's a bunch of you guys, I'll say Vikings 27.
There you go.
You're definitely outnumbered
By the
for
way,
sure.
hey, we did the same thing before we came on. We were talking about who did we pick in the beginning because we do the same thing, go through the schedule, and I think
you might.
I picked the Vikings.
I picked the Eagles. I think most of us picked the Eagles, thinking it's the home opener.
Yeah.
We all, I think all of us on this side of the glass.
Yeah, on that side of the glass.
But I think some of us were getting a little shaky. It sounded like
I know
out
I
there
did.
in the waiting room there.
Hey, Jim,
where
before
were you
Rhino
going,
goes,
what was your pick again? I'm sorry.
He said
the Vikings. What kind of question?
I'll go 27-24 Vikings.
Okay.
Jim, before Rhino goes, go ahead. Ask him the normal questions you ask. You bring the set of questions you ask every guest.
All right, yeah, we have a standard set of questions. Some of them are more local, so I'll save the local ones because I don't even know do you know what Scrapple is? Have you ever heard of Scrapple out there in the Midwest?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, yeah, so we'll save the local ones. We have more general ones. So chicken wing, are you a chicken wing fan?
Oh, absolutely.
Flats or drums?
Drums.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, boy.
There you go, Rhino.
Yeah, Rhino.
You're losing points.
You're on a streak, kid. Don't lose it.
Yeah, there's only one right answer, and it's my answer. And that was not the right answer. Right?
Keep going.
MJ or LeBron?
Oh, there's not even a question. It's Jordan.
There we go.
All
That's a good
right,
answer.
all
right.
Good answer.
2 for 2.
2-0.
I'm trying to think the other ones that aren't local.
Ask him if you think
We got Ben Narek question.
It's a Benaric question. It's the Scrapple
Is he a
question.
Timberwolves fan?
Greatest Eagle.
The greatest eagle.
Yeah, I think
Rhino, what's a I guess a known food out there? Like what's known?
A local food.
Yeah, local food. Like here's like
They
cheesesteaks,
do lippers of
like
skull.
water ice, stuff like that. Soft prep.
Depending upon where you go. I mean, up in my neck of the woods, there's not a whole lot of, I guess, what you would call a staple type food. It's just a lot of odds and ends. Now down in Minnesota, of course, they have the Juicy Lucy in Minneapolis.
What's the Juicy Lucy?
The Juicy Lucy is basically an inverted cheeseburger. They stuff the cheeseburger with like 3-4 kinds of cheese and then make it that way. So then when you bite into it, the cheese kind of lavas out all over the place.
Wow, interesting.
It's got to be different cheese though. What cheese?
Yeah, I mean,
I felt like I had a Minnesota accent when I said that.
But no, those are really good. There's a couple of dueling restaurants in the Minneapolis Metro. There one claims that they created it, then the other one claims they created it, so it kind of goes back and forth. It was actually on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Guy Fieri had
love that show.
talked about that.
Hey, Tone, I see you,
Yeah, we
buddy.
probably-
We're coming to get
I've
you.
probably seen it because I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie, you said you're in North Dakota, right?
Yep.
I got a question for
You
you.
can ask him about
Carson fan, yes or no?
He doesn't care.
I'm an NDSU alum.
Mm.
Always a fan.
Yeah.
Been the
Oh, man.
I'm a season ticket holder and everything else.
I will.
Carson Wentz here was phenomenal. I think the biggest thing that happened with him when he got to the Eagles is when he was in FCS, he was so much better than everybody else. He could do pretty much whatever he wanted, and he could make up for it by just from sheer talent. But when he got to the NFL, that differential in talent was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he, it's kind of like a straight A student in high school going to college and failing out because he doesn't know how to study.
Right.
And I think that was a lot of Wentz's deal. He was just too reliant on his natural talent when he was in college and high school and everything else.
The
And
talent.
when you get to the NFL and everybody's that talented, then
It
it's
worked for him. He almost was damn near MVP until he got
Yeah,
hurt.
until he got hurt, yeah.
He was pretty
Yeah,
good.
but he wasn't respected in the locker room, dude. They didn't like him.
I'm talking about what he did on the
No,
field.
I know, but I'm telling you, like I think that goes with Rhino's point is he was so good in North Dakota, he thought he was just going to come in and take the league by
Yes.
storm. And the way he acted
Did he
in the
not?
locker room rubbed people the wrong
He was
way.
close to being the face of the league.
for the first year it was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, until he got hurt, he was close to being the face of the
He was-
league.
Dante
he was gonna
Culpepper
be
had a good
MVP
year
that
too.
year.
Randy Moss doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, but he didn't have Randy Moss, now,
Right.
did he?
But
He didn't have Randy Moss. He was close to being the face of the league. Like
You're really comparing him to
I
Randy
think
Moss. Stop.
Come on.
Like, I mean, and we can talk about Wentz forever, but all I'm saying is like people
You and
forget
Amy
what he
should
did
have your
here.
own podcast.
Like people forget what he did here. Like he was a good player for us.
I agree.
All right, we'll let you go out on
1
this one.
year.
Here-
Yeah,
Here's a question related to our questions that we normally ask. We normally ask the greatest Eagle of all time, greatest Viking of all time. And I know we're taking up more time than we asked for. So
No, that's fine. When I'm done here, I'm going to watch the football game anyway. So
yeah, I know we're getting close to kickoff here.
Yeah.
Come on.
greatest Viking of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah, hurry up, Rhino. It's time to go.
I guess I will go with my favorite player of all time because saying the greatest of all time is about as subjective as favorite player. But I absolutely loved John Randall when he was here.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Undrafted free agent that came in and became a actual, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Guy had a motor that wouldn't stop. He liked to trash talk. He was just, I loved everything about his game. And he probably isn't the greatest Viking, but he's my favorite. We'll put it that way.
Face paint was legendary.
All right.
Yep.
Tone, we had to get you in here. I can't leave you in the silence.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Tim?
All right, let's
Tony's going to lead us in a skull chant.
I want to say thank you, Rhino, for coming on with us to give us some time tonight from the Vikings Uncensored Podcast. We really appreciate you giving us some time. Good luck Monday night. We hope you lose.
There you go, Jim.
Say it like friends.
I'm going to say the same thing to you guys. So
And as friends,
good luck, just not too good.
Yes, exactly. But good luck the rest of the season. I told you the Vikings are going to win the North, and Aaron Rodgers is a dick. We're just going to leave it at that. I'm sure
100% agree. And for the record, I think we're going to see you guys again later on down the year.
Yeah,
too.
I have a feeling we
could
may
be.
be meeting in
That's cool. That
January.
we can go 2-0 against
Hopefully it's in Philly again.
All
I'll
right,
be in
Rhino,
Minnesota
thanks.
next time. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Appreciate the
Take
time.
care.
Take care.
You bet.
All right, and right off one guest, we come into another guest. We still didn't even get to finish our rants about week one, but here's our guy.
Our week
Joe.
one. Reek? Is that Game of Thrones?
Thank God I
Reek?
see Tones on this because I could have taken
Tone, save us.
Anybody that names themselves
I'm gonna get that man a Juicy Lucy.
Yeah.
Right? Come on.
I was trying to give you guys like the.
No, we had the signal. Check your
I
phone.
saw that signal. I saw it.
We saw the tone signal.
Be a complete dick. But I was kind of giving
No,
like
you were.
Nah, you were nice. You were nice. You were
Good
nice.
job.
Otherwise, we're not going to get guests.
Did you see?
Colin's going to keep coming on because he knows we're
That's all we
dicks.
need.
Did you see the screen behind you?
That's all we need.
I see it. Yeah, I saw
No, that.
I see that.
Yeah,
What am
the-
I looking at? And he can see all you guys.
Yeah, I didn't send it. I
Look
didn't
at the window.
I didn't send it.
No, the window.
No, that we've seen that. He's talking about
he's talking
the
about
image.
chat. Look at the chat image.
Look at the chat image.
Yeah, I mean that guy did look like Duck Dynasty. We should have asked him.
Not only does that dude need a razor, but he needs
Hopefully-
a Wi-Fi
Hopefully
extender.
they're not going to listen to this again.
I know,
Shit,
but
do you
well,
care?
yeah. I mean, I
I
don't.
could care less what they think about me. The dude needs a razor. and he needs a
Yo,
Wi-Fi
But
extender.
damn,
But
Snake.
next week I try to reach out to who we play.
They were good
Nobody's
guys.
listening.
We're playing the
Oh,
Washington
you think the
Commanders.
Commanders are listening to our podcast?
Well,
Absolutely.
I'll tell them Wentz sucks too.
They were
We'll
good
go down
guys.
the line. We'll bust their tops in the league.
They were good guys. You guys were being nice
Hey,
for too
Tone,
long.
has
I
kickoff
was-
happened yet?
I was trying to say, like, let's cut the
Nate,
questions.
I wasn't being nice at all.
They were being nice for too long. DJ, I'm glad you asked the question because that stirred the pot. Of
Yeah,
this
we got to get a
bit.
little lively.
A little
in there.
lively.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was saying stuff, taking shots at him the whole time.
All right. Did we kick off yet? Because Tony,
Yeah,
if there
it's
is-
got to be.
did we? Do you have any picks for tonight before we get into it that we want to try to put out?
It
Tonight
started-
I went with
started
I went with Eckler over 4.5 receptions and over I think it's 33.5 receiving yards tonight. Doesn't have anything yet, but
We're already halfway through the first.
yeah, halfway through the first.
Your picks were out there on Twitter, so hopefully the folks.
Yeah, you can bet some of this stuff live too. So
Herbert.
Come on, Eckler.
All right.
yeah.
So you got. There's no other gambling on the game tonight. Who do you guys think wins tonight?
Did we not hit on the Goddard this last weekend?
No, we did.
Chargers.
No, we did. Tone, by the way, you had a phenomenal weekend last weekend. Let me just say.
Yeah, if you faded me, you did.
No. A couple of your bets, I took the hit. The ones that
At least you took the winners because I didn't have a good week.
I literally took all your winners.
There you go.
If you faded me,
Tell me who to take. Tell me who to take this week then.
No, dude. No, you had on my side at least. No complaints here.
Well, I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah.
I'll always take it. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a good weekend last weekend with Tone's takes.
So what are we looking at for this weekend? I know Thursday's always a little bit early to get too heavy into them. You're still looking at injury reports and everything. There's a lot of injuries. Just speaking from a fantasy perspective, I have both DeAndre Swift and Najee Harris on my team, on one of my teams. Sounds like they're both practicing. They both say they're going to play. But that hurts you guys, right? You're waiting until Sunday morning to get all these lineups, who's in, who's out. What are you looking at right now for the weekend?
Two plays that I locked in already. First one is Chase Edmonds over 23.5 receiving yards. It's minus 115 on DraftKings. He had 40 yards last week on 4 catches. Baltimore allowed 43.7 receiving yards to running backs last season, 7th most. Last week that trend continued. The Jets had 78 receiving yards between Hall and Carter. So I like that Chase Edmonds number. You'll see he's getting a lot of looks out of the backfield. And he's a guy who can bust that on one catch with his speed. So that's one. Next one I got Michael Pittman over 61.5 receiving yards, minus 115 on MGM. Other books have this at minus 145 on DraftKings. It's minus 145. He's questionable with a quad, but I think he'll end up playing. I'm not too worried about it. Jacksonville allowed 158 yards per game to receivers last year. He went for 9 receptions for 121 yards last week on 13 targets. He's the man that Matt Ryan looks for. And he hit totals of 71 and 64 against Jacksonville last year. And he set this mark in 11 of his last 17 overall. So there's not much competition for Pittman to get some looks in that game. So I think 61.5 is very reasonable number, especially at minus 115.
I think the Jags actually win that game.
Or Bob.
They could.
I think the Jags are.
4-1, dude.
Yeah, it's 4-1.
The Jags.
They should have. Yeah, they should have beaten Washington.
Yeah,
they should have.
Are there any games? So with the injuries, are there any games like what's the Bengals Cowboys game at right now? Like the Bengals
7.5.
7.5.
Do you put anything on that game? Because the Bengals got him. I'd say they got embarrassed by Pittsburgh
At home.
And
and the Cowboys are beat up. You riding the Bengals with that? Is that too many points still?
I would probably take the Bengals if I had to make a make a decision in that game. I wouldn't go over 7.5, but I would probably do Bengals. Maybe even throw them in a teaser with another team. Yeah, I mean they should definitely win the game, like you said, especially after that bad performance they had last week. Should have a little chip on their shoulder.
Put them in a teaser with like the Packers.
Yeah.
And the Packers are playing Chicago this week at home.
Bears, yeah. But you base it so even though you don't like Rodgers.
I don't like Rodgers.
He's owned Chicago.
Yeah, he owns them. He owns them. He said it.
Chicago State.
He declared that he owned it.
If they can't beat Chicago, they should just give in for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And you also have a team that's off a win and a team that's off a loss, and the team that's off a loss is the better team. So I mean, yeah, there's no question that Green Bay should win that game. So
yeah, and they're at home. Like he's like his like the if you looked at the numbers, I didn't look it up, but if you look at the numbers of Aaron Rodgers against Chicago, just overall, and then Aaron Rodgers versus Chicago at home, it's like it looks like probably like a video game.
Yeah,
he kills Chicago.
There's a couple more that look kind of wonky to me.
A lot of these lines are kind of.
How about the Panthers and the Giants? Baker Mayfield sucks so bad.
I think the Giants are going to win that game.
I think the Giants
are going to be 2-0.
The Giants are winning that game.
Okay, great. The Giants still suck. Who cares?
Hey, I told you last year that the Giants were going to win the division. Maybe this year they'll win the division.
The Buffalo's getting 10 points too. That's a lot to me.
Yeah, why is there 2 games on Monday night? Anyone know that?
It's just they've done that. They've done that the last few years.
No, that's usually week 1.
But they do usually do week 1. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why that. Yeah.
And of course, Eagles are the later game.
Well, yeah. I wonder what Hurts' rushing yards are. He had 90 last week. What's his? I'm curious. Is that over? What's his rush? Tony, have you looked into that?
I haven't looked into it yet. Last time I looked, there wasn't any props up on that game yet. So
no, it's not that high.
Really?
Yeah, it wouldn't be 60.
Is Nate and Tone?
FanDuel doesn't have them yet.
This is kind of for both you guys.
Yeah, nothing on FanDuel.
After watching week 1 and all the is there something that you're going to probably be looking towards every week, like somebody's rushing yards or receiving yards, or?
For me, not too much yet. I'd still base some stuff off of last year's numbers a little bit, and probably as we get to maybe 3 games in, then you can kind of get like a decent sample size to kind of throw last year's stuff out. I mean, definitely could look at usage, how many targets a guy gets, stuff like that. But after one game, I mean, yeah, you look at it, but you don't throw too much into it yet. At least for me.
A good one, Gesicki. Gesicki was terrible.
Yards, dude. Like he's over 100 every game.
And Cup.
I think the stars that perform.
What about Tyreek Hill?
Right. Like Hill performed.
Not really. Tyreek Hill.
Super top. Devontae Adams. Yeah, Adams.
Yeah, like the stars came. Jefferson performed. Even AJ Brown performed. Yeah. Like all the stars did what they were supposed to do in week 1. Week 2 is typically a trend week, so a lot of bettors bet like what trend is happening of the week. So there's a lot of kind of not weird lines, but they're kind of high lines. Like there's a lot of 9.5s and 10s, like kind of abnormal, but you said 10, like Buffalo.
Right, that's a lot to me.
But Buffalo,
there are good. I think
Buffalo looks like the best team in the league.
Oh yeah, they dominate.
You know what I mean? Like
they don't have a lot of holes. I mean, they're from top to bottom.
I
look
just read today
really
they might
good.
Be signing Beckham Jr.
Oh God, he's just going to be ring chasing every year. Well, he's just going to sign a bunch of 1-year deals the rest of his career.
And then there's overreaction because the teams that were supposed to be good that lost are now favored heavily, like the Rams, Cincinnati, the Niners.
Well, the Rams dropped in Super Bowl.
The Broncos.
What do you guys? The Eagles jumped to third favorite odds.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous.
Third odds.
Third favorite.
So are they the first team in the NFC?
No.
It's Buffalo.
No, it's Buffalo. It's Buffalo Chiefs.
Right, Tampa.
Tampa, Eagles. They have the same odds as Tampa and LA.
Tampa looked better than I thought they would.
I wasn't that impressed.
I wasn't that impressed either.
The Cowboys looked horrible.
Yeah, I think
you're talking about Tampa.
Yeah, they couldn't
get their defense was really
good.
For
somebody who hasn't played all preseason, don't practice, Brady, he looked pretty sharp to me at 45.
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
They look good, man. They look good.
We just sweat that up.
Jones looked good. I'll tell you that. Julio Jones looked really good.
Yeah, like they're all like
But
when
Godwin's
all their
hurt now,
receivers
so
are healthy,
Well,
and that's a
Godwin's hurt.
that's a
That's the
big
problem.
if.
Yeah.
Like
Fournette looked okay. He
Yeah,
didn't look too out
Fournette
of
looked
shape.
good.
Really got pain.
And then if Godwin, whenever he comes back, like they have an offense. Like they, you know what I mean?
They
The
just
Eagles' offense is just as good as the Bucks.
they're
In my opinion, I do.
Yeah.
Playmaking wise, I do.
playmaking wise.
Yes.
I think I'm taking
does that mean
Evans.
you're
You
pulling-
Goddard.
can't say that yet. I don't think you can say that yet.
No, it has nothing to do with it. I'm talking about the playmakers around them. I think the Eagles.
I'm taking
No.
Goddard over their tight end because
Yeah.
they're not really much of anything.
Honestly,
I
I'll
think
take our
AJ Brown-
running game
Yes.
Over
And-
Lenny?
Yes.
because Lenny gets hurt.
AJ.
Yeah.
So does Miles.
So does our running game. So does Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders is
All
in
right.
our running game.
Would you
though.
agree
It's-
that AJ Brown and Mike Evans? I think that's a toss-up. They're both.
I'm
very
taking
good.
the whole core over the Eagles.
I don't think it's a toss up.
I'm taking
You
Evans,
think Mike Evans is better than AJ Brown?
When he
Yeah.
scores more touchdowns.
and he gets more yards.
This is the first time AJ Brown's played in the past. Like more.
I take AJ over Evans.
Yeah. Come on.
All right,
I
all right,
probably
but
take
all right,
Godwin over Smitty.
I was gonna say you're taking Godwin over
Okay,
Smitty,
but-
and I'm taking Julio over Quez Watkins.
Yeah, Julio.
Okay, but we got like you said, we got the tight end and the running game locked up, and the offensive line.
They did not last week.
Not for last week. We don't.
After the first half, the Eagles figured it out.
But look, they got a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
That's
Tom
what
Brady.
happens.
The Hall of
That's
he,
what
he,
keeps it for them.
he is the Hall of Fame.
But were you a little
Like,
surprised
it's
he
Tom.
didn't get him in the end zone? He did not get him in the end zone
Yeah.
several times.
Yeah,
Dallas's defense is
I mean, look, I'm so glad to see Dallas being
just
bad.
absolutely laying
I'm
egg.
just not saying anything about Dak because I believe in karma. Like everybody's not said. Oh,
I
this
forget.
is
Is
good.
Tone at Penn State? Did he go to Penn State too?
No.
No.
Nah.
Good.
He's going for.
No,
I
he
mean,
just
you
looks
know,
like Franklin.
hold
Good.
on, Tone, you should take the Auburn.
He doesn't do college. I've already asked him.
Nah, it's too much, man. I can't keep track of all that stuff.
Tone, we got to come and do a live podcast from your house.
Or he can
The
come in
Windy
here. Why
Channel.
can't he just come in here?
You jump in the
Yeah,
car with
come
me
in
any
here.
Thursday.
He
Tone.
don't. He doesn't like you, dude.
He doesn't like leaving his
He just
house.
doesn't like you.
So we have to come to him.
I'm like Sam Hinkie. I don't leave my basement.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, I haven't looked too much at I've been kind of focusing on college, but I haven't looked too much.
How bad has college football been this year?
I mean, the Texas-Bama game was a good
That was
game.
good. That was the best game, but every other
I
game's
think
been
everybody
like,
got
bleh.
hit on Bama.
Yeah,
that
every
game.
other game has been like. Besides
Wait,
LSU,
did you
Florida,
guys
or
find that a little
LSU,
bit-
Florida
did you guys
State.
find that, like, not to change the college football? Did you find it a little weird that Alabama, number one team, I understand they barely beat Texas, who was in the top 25, and then they jumped Georgia back to 1 when they beat a Division II school in Sanford?
Well,
Come on.
I mean, they lost. They almost lost to Texas.
Yeah, but they're a top 25
Texas
team.
isn't ranked.
Yes, they were.
Not last week. They
No, they
weren't.
weren't.
Yes.
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't. They
I thought
weren't
they were
ranked.
They were
22.
unranked.
No, they were.
Unranked.
They were unranked last week.
Okay, well, at least they played a reputable school. Sanford, give me a break.
I mean, Texas lost their starting quarterback too.
Yeah, that was a cheap shot.
Shit. Who did Georgia play last week?
Deke's favorite team looked good against
I was
Marshall.
gonna say that we gave out our cold.
Yes, we did. We do that.
No, we can do it right now.
Do it right now, Smitty. Go
So,
ahead.
Every week we're giving away like basically a scumbag, but we're going to call it coal that Santa's going to give. And this week Santa's going to legendary coach of Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman. Congratulations. You haven't won a game since you've been the head coach.
Hard
All
to be
right.
legendary
You got
when
it
you only
back.
coach 2 games.
That's 3. See, you're such a Notre Dame fan.
Where
You
were they
realize he
ranked?
coached the bowl
8th
game.
or something like that?
Yeah, but they couldn't even Marshall.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Two games this year.
The
We
bowl
are.
game, the bowl game last
That
year.
he- that he had a-
They were favored,
that
they
he-
got smoked.
They had he was a week old head coach.
Okay, but this year.
Yeah, they look
You look
horrible.
good against Ohio
They
State,
look horrible.
And then you lost to Marshall in South
And
Bend.
they lost their starting quarterback.
In South Bend.
You should have smoked them.
That's embarrassing.
Congratulations, Marcus
And-
Freeman and Notre Shame.
And
You're getting the cold.
they're probably not gonna cover this week either.
Who they play this week?
They're at home this week. I think they're like 11-point favorites. I don't think they're
North
gonna cover.
Carolina? Navy?
No, they're playing somebody okay. Like it's a notable, like it's a team a
Our
college
Lady
I've
of
heard of.
Guadalupe University.
All right, so let's get your picks for the
I
Eagles
gotta
game
look.
this
Hold
week. What do we
Let's
got
get
on
your
the
money,
cards?
Tone.
Yeah,
Come on.
let's-
If I had to make a pick on it, I like the over. I like the over for sure. If I had to make a pick on the game, I'd go Minnesota money line. I think it's plus 112. As of right now, I just
Cut him out.
I think,
Cut him
I
out.
think this is a game that Minnesota could win.
Check them out.
What's
like
your
to get
address? I'm going to buy some eggs on the
we,
way home.
We'd like to get you on the Vikings Uncensored Podcast with the
with Rhino and Lance.
Yeah, somebody names himself after
Wait.
an
I just
animal.
want to point out though that I didn't realize it on the names though, but I could have sworn the guy with the big beard was Rhino.
No, he was Hendricks.
No, that's Lance.
I know, but it would make sense. Rhino, he looked like a bigger
He looked
dude,
like
and the
Duck
beard,
Dynasty.
and like
Dude was awful.
yeah, dude.
No,
wasn't
sorry,
awful.
he was. Nate signs perfect in the window. If we could turn the
Oh
camera.
God, stop.
He wasn't awful. He just had a bad connection.
Yeah, maybe he was better than what you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just couldn't hear him because
Yeah,
his connection was poor.
First thing needs
His
to
accent was
We only
heavy
got
though.
every third
I wanted
word.
him to talk because his accent was heavy. I can't
Yeah,
hear
he
it.
did. He did
He
have
had
a
a
heavy
big
Wi-Fi,
Minnesota
so
accent.
he'll be all right.
Minnesota.
We'll just have to get him back on.
So you only got
Playoff
two
week.
picks so far, Tom?
Jim was like,
Two props so far, yeah.
Yeah, 2 props.
Yeah,
Are you
Yeah.
are you having a hard time looking for seeing value?
No, they just a lot of them didn't come out till today, and honestly, I didn't get a chance to really dig into it. So,
Okay.
I'm going to start over the next couple days. But those are two that kind of caught my eye. I mean, I'm kind of looking at Nick Chubb too to go over his rushing yards. I think it's 81.5.
Do you know my fantasy
that's,
teams?
That's the lead for me.
The last 2 weeks, a lot of your guys that you've been playing are on my fantasy team, so I like it.
Let's just keep
There you go.
betting against Baker.
Just keep betting
No.
against Baker.
Yeah,
You can pick the under against Baker every time. You'll win.
No, you
there you go. Under passing yards.
Under
there.
passing yards,
Yeah.
Under Baker.
200 plus 120.
I think they
Did
actually
you
might
say
win.
underbaked?
I think they might win
Come
that
on,
game.
man. That was
Jim, you were giving him too much love.
Too many
They're
dad
not gonna win-
jokes.
They're not winning the division. The Vikings are not good.
Dude, who's winning that division?
The Packers.
No, they're not.
Okay.
I like the Vikings to win that division.
Thank you, Tone.
That's because you guys
I'm
live
telling
with-
you, that offense is going to be really good this
They
year.
drink the same water.
Yeah. You drink the same sewer water in Philly. That's just in the water.
Must be the limoncello.
Great minds think alike.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
It's all right. You guys can be
Dude,
wrong.
$2
It's okay.
bets are making you what?
It's okay.
$8 so you can get a Happy Meal.
I'm
Relax over there.
Buying me pizza.
Dude, he's putting food on the table. You know, it's tough in these times.
Packers stink. Packers stink. Vikings are taking it.
And
over.
Rogers is a dick, so we know
A
that.
total dick.
All
All
right,
right.
man.
Actually, his haircut
He is.
pretty stylish.
Thanks for giving us some time this week. Maybe we'll be more organized next week. We'll see.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll be a little more
What
excited. A little more-
podcast are we bringing in next week? The Commandos?
We'll have to find. Yeah.
The Commandos? We wear our Can We Go Commando for the Commandos? In here.
We'll whoop their ass.
Smitty is fired up.
Their
Dude.
stadium's
Hey.
falling, my stadium's
Jeez.
falling apart podcast.
They're getting
All
sued.
right.
Actually, the four
Yeah, I
fans
thought we
came
were all
out. and
going
sued.
down to that game.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I don't want to go. Actually,
Yeah, I'm not trying to fall out of my seat.
those fans are suing though. Actually,
Yeah, I saw
the four fans are suing.
Come here, want to say hi?
Oh,
All
God.
Yeah, my daughter wants to say hello.
Uh-oh. Who we got?
Hold
Which
on.
one?
Tell her to go.
Hold on.
Gabby.
Fly.
Gabby.
Hold on, does she have a pick? If she doesn't have a pick, she can't come on.
Do you have a pick in the Eagles game? No. You don't have a pick? No? No?
Hey, Gab.
She was sitting down here watching me the entire time, staring at me. I said, come on, let's go.
I'm like, that was nuts.
Yeah, when are we going to see some Toads Takes merch?
Yeah, when we get to see
Yeah, well, it's one of the things on the docket, so definitely gotta do that. So.
That means that
Yeah,
like way down the road.
I got your buddy's number. I'm working on a new logo for us for the T-shirt this year. I'll be reaching out to your buddy. He gave me the card at the graduation party. So,
oh, cool, nice, yeah.
Cool.
all right, Toad.
Oh.
Thanks for checking in with us this week. Good luck this weekend. As always, follow Tone on Twitter at Tones Takes. He'll be posting his picks all weekend, and baseball's still going on. So,
Yeah.
you want some baseball picks? He's putting.
Hey,
his baseball
7 straight profitable days of baseball. I'm down for the
Great.
year, but hopefully not for long. I'm battling through this. I'm not giving up. So
Mookie Betts killed me last night.
yeah, me too.
Good week. We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Man,
Take
it
care.
easy.
All right, see you.
What do we got? We got to wrap up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. It's
right?
already about to be the second quarter.
I know, right?
Predictions? Or do you
We got our MVP.
Oh, yeah, I can give them.
I don't even know if we're going to be. So we're going to be doing the MVP of the week.
Yeah.
We're going to be sending these to the Birds players. Hopefully, we'll be seeing them in their lockers. little Santa boot first.
Yep.
Sticker. So who's the MVP of the week this week, Schmitty?
MVP offensively, I think, was a pretty easy choice. First game as an Eagle, right? Most yards ever by a wide receiver in their debut, A.J. Brown. And defense,
Arthur Juan Brown.
we had to go with Bradbury because I think he made the play of the game. The defense wasn't stout, but I think that was – I mean, if you look at the game, that was one of the difference makers.
Yeah, that's right.
It's one of the few plays they made.
Congratulations to them. And
So AJ and James, if you're listening, your sticker will be in the mail.
Yeah.
All right, let's go around the table predictions. You first, Andrew.
For the night.
No, dude. The
For
Eagles.
Baker.
Welcome
For Baker.
Welcome
Jeez,
back
is
to the
Baker gonna-
show,
Is
Andrew.
Baker going to promise a win and lose again this week?
I don't know.
What's the Eagles
Give us an
Vikings?
Eagles
Birds or
pick.
Vikings?
28-21 Eagles.
Oh.
He pulled that out of his ass.
He said, "What's up?"
I know that I said the Eagles earlier in the year, but after last week, the Vikings looked very good. The Eagles look good, but bad too. So with that, I'm gonna go in a squeaker. I'm gonna go Vikings 34, Eagles 31.
I think the defense finds its groove this week. It's close, but I think the Eagles win 28-24.
I know I picked the Eagles to win when we did our
Guys
preseason
are all flip
predictions.
Dude, it's just off last game.
During the week, I felt maybe the Vikings might do something. I'm going to stick to my guns.
And you listen to their
I'm going
podcast.
to go Birds. I'm going to go 30-26 Eagles.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's an interesting one.
What you got, Jimbo?
I love the Eagles before the season started. Jefferson looked really good last week. Our defense did not.
Okay.
Don't forget Dalvin Cook too. You got to worry about.
Oh my God.
I'm not worried about the running game. I'm worried about the passing game. Monday night, home opener. They're going to get up for it. It's going to be scary. 35-28 Eagles.
If this was either at the Vikings or not the home opener,
Yes.
I probably would go Vikings.
I'm giving them the juice
But
for
like,
that.
here's
Yeah.
the thing. Like we talked about, let's not overreact from week one. This team is very good.
Yeah.
The Vikings are
And their
very good. Yeah.
defense- Shut up.
I agree with Rhino. We're going to meet them in the playoffs.
I do too.
We are.
I don't have
He
faith-
agreed to
I
the
don't
guy
have-
that names
I don't
himself
have faith
after an
that
animal.
Cousins will get them to the playoffs.
Who?
Cousins. I have him as a wild card.
Wait,
but they'll
so
lose.
so it's I'm the
They'll
only
lose.
one with the Vikings?
Passing TD
Well,
thrown by
Nate
Justin
is. I
Herbert.
think Nate is too.
Oh.
10-0.
And nothing charges.
Yeah.
Who'd he throw to?
All right, Nate, what's your prediction?
It's on Prime Video.
I know you don't
I
like to
know.
give scores, but who wins?
He's going with the Vikings.
It's tough, man, because I think Cousins in primetime, you just can't fade that trend. You really can't. I think I said Vikings before. I would take Vikings with the points
What?
though.
You ready for
I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if the Birds win, but I would think it's just because they don't have no. Like I think Jim, you're on the right thing. We have no pass rush.
Yeah, that's my concern.
So if we can't get to Cousins, and he has time, their receivers are just too good. I don't care if you bracket. He's matchup proof.
Yeah,
he's going to get his.
He's going to
get his,
and that's fine. If he gets his, and Thielen only gets 60, and the running game gets 80, then that's a win.
I hate fantasy football.
So
you want to hear who scored? Xander Horvath.
He scored last week too.
You have him.
You better
yeah,
pick him up.
I picked him up in my week.
He scored last week.
He's a fullback.
He's a touchdown machine. It's like touchdown Tommy Gardell.
My God, dude.
He's like
A 1 yard
he's
touchdown.
The freaking Leonard Weaver of the
Screw Xander Horvath,
They
whatever.
have only 18 yards.
Horvath.
Nobody wants to hear about our fantasy.
God,
other than
dude.
us.
I have Eckler. Eckler didn't do shit
I
last
have
week.
Herbert, so I'm good. Touchdown.
God, he ran it in. It wasn't even a pass.
It said thrown.
The language of
I thought it was a
Justin
run.
Herbert
No,
passed TD.
there was a passing touchdown.
Oh my God, dude.
All right, end the show. We don't care about his fantasy team.
Look, Andrew's calling it out.
So
Show
stupid.
over. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us again through another episode here. I hope you enjoyed us yelling at each other in the beginning. I hope you didn't fall asleep.
Come back next week and we'll do it again.
Fall asleep in the middle when the Vikings guys were kind of putting us to sleep. And I hope you make some money on Tone's picks this weekend. Before we get out of here, our I didn't even say anything about our sponsors in the beginning.
Wow.
Damn.
Right.
But do not forget, Sundays during football season, Mamma Mia's Pizzeria, the Santa Sunday special. Easy to say when you're not drinking. Give Mamma Mia's a call on Sundays.
Sanders.
$40. Large plain pie.
$40.
Steak stromboli. Wings. Dozen wings. And a 2-liter drink.
And don't forget.
You didn't say the large plain pizza.
I said large plain pie.
All right. I'm sorry.
Plates and napkins free.
Plates and napkins can be included if you ask. Mamma Mia's Pizza in Summerton.
And our
and Pop's Fine Whiskeys.
The proprietor.
Just get me a little
Jason
bit.
Fogg.
Proprietor. Jason Fogg, proprietor. Pops
Support
McCain's,
local businesses.
PopsMcCain's.com.
Puts together an excellent product with a history.
What?
This guy puts a collar on and all of a sudden
Shut up.
All of a sudden he's professional.
That's right.
All right, folks. Again, thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of the Sand and Boot First podcast on this beautiful Thursday evening. Let's go Birds and be excellent to each other. See you next week.
Roll Birds.
I'm a little late with the music. Sorry.
Nobody. Who cares? Nobody's listening. Anyway.
Just those in Minnesota.
Yeah. Wait, what's the one from? What's the line?
Come on, G. Yeah. I know you don't
So
like.
long.
Would you want to? Yeah, wait till they come.
I don't care. They were
on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Eagles fly on the road to victory.